My name is Rick, and welcome to Water Plants 101. Today on Water Plants 101, we're going to be changing out a pH probe on an analyzer. A few tools that you're going to need: a small straight screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, a needle nose, and pH buffer. This is to calibrate the new pH probe. So here we see the pH probe as well as the pH analyzer or display. You'll note that this is plugged into a battery backup, so at this time we're going to unplug that from the battery backup. Once that's complete, the next step is to remove these 4 screws with a Phillips screwdriver. We're going to do that now. Once all 4 of the screws are loose, we're going to go ahead and pull this front plate off. Inside, you'll see that there is a ribbon connected to the front panel. Please note which way the ribbon is. You'll see that one end of the ribbon has a red mark on it. This is facing the top of this unit. So at this time, we're going to wiggle this out and pull it out. Just go ahead and lay that up top here. We won't be needing that during this process, but please note that red mark on this ribbon goes to the top. The next step is we're going to remove all of these wires on this blue block right here, noting what order they are in. So we're going to note that right now: white, green, red, yellow, black, clear. We're going to remove these wires by simply loosening up this screw, and we'll continue through the rest of those and remove all the wires. Now that we have all the screws loose, it's just a matter of pulling all those wires out. The next step, we're going to loosen this nut up right here and pull those wires out. Now that we have the wires out of the box, the next step is to change the flow of water from the probe to our bypass. This is done by closing the 2 valves going to the probe and opening the bypass valve. And now we can just simply screw this unit out. So here's our new probe. There's our old probe. The next thing we're going to do is connect all the wires inside the box. Once we get all the wires connected, we're going to reattach our ribbon. Then we're going to put our faceplate back on. Then we're going to plug our unit back in before we put the probe back in the hole. The reason we're going to do that is because we need to calibrate this new probe. So let's go ahead and we'll get these wires attached. After inserting each one of the wires, do yourself a favor and just give it a small tug to make sure that you did catch it with that screw. Once you have your wires in place like so, then it's time to go ahead and reattach your ribbon to the front panel. Once you have the front plate back on and in place, the next thing is going to be go ahead and plug that unit back in, and it should power up. And we see it powering up. All right, don't be alarmed by that number. We still have the protective cap on there. When we take that protective cap off, it should have a small bit of liquid in there that helps keep the salt bridge from drying up. So you can see that that is full of liquid, and we have our new probe in hand. We're going to go ahead and place that probe in the buffer 400. So we have it in the 4 buffer. Right now we're reading 8. So we want to set, put in our password, hit enter, calibrate. We're going to calibrate the in. We don't want to calibrate the temperature. We want to calibrate next and go to P1. And we want to match that to 4. So we want it to be a 4.00. Now that we're in our number 7 solution, we're going to do the same process. Only this time, we're going to set this down here and we're going to go to P2, and we're going to go down until we get to 7.00. And once we set it on that approximate value, then we hit the button that says set, and that is set as well. So now I'm going to shut the camera off. All I'm going to do is put it back into 4 solution, make sure that we're reading 4. Put it back into 7 solution, make sure that we're reading 7. Then I'm going to Teflon tape the probe, stick it back into its appropriate hole, open up the valves so it has a continuous flow of water over it, and that should conclude changing out a pH probe.